What's up? What's up, YouTube? It's Jill. Shady Temple from the Light of the Darkness. Coming to you from the van. I've been working hard as a motherfucker today. I'm like nasty as shit. I was gonna work out today, like hardcore with my boy for the first time, but we had a really hard day, and I was like, yo, I am like massively dirty and disgusting, and I didn't bring any extra clothes, and I just need to like plan for tomorrow. So we're gonna do that. But I wanted to talk a little bit today, very quickly, about life and death and this incarnation. What's happening here on planet Earth versus like what's actually happening here on planet Earth versus what you know and believe to be true. There's a few things, okay? All right. One thing is true is that a lot of us do get recycled, and you're going to see similarities. And, you know, like when you come back, you're going to look very similar to the way that you look now. That's going to continue. That will keep coming back. Especially if you are like one of the lead players in this whole story. Like there's a lot of us that are lead players. There's a lot of us that are kind of supporting actors. And then you have your NPCs. But like there's a lot of us in this physical dimension, in this reality. I don't want to say that you're more important than other people, but your role is more important. Your role is more vital. And your role is more prominent in that you will keep coming back again and again and again in a very similar physical feature, but you'll have different attributes, and typically you're going to have a somewhat similar message or thing that you're trying to accomplish. It may be a little bit different depending on the times, because most of these are going to be in like 50 to 60 year increments where there's going to be gaps where you exist and you don't exist. But you will come back and you will convey a somewhat same or similar message that you've always been conveying. And once that message is understood and embraced by humanity, then you'll be able to move on. But what is really moving on? There's really not one way to die or one way to pass over from this reality. There's actually several different options. A lot of people get hung up on thinking that life and death is just like this black and white thing. And it's really not. Like, there's a lot of things that could happen. And this is something that Lucifer has been showing me. I've been meditating with him a lot at night, especially for the last 2 nights, and I was fasting. And during that fasting, all of this was revealed to me by him. So there are a lot of us that actually know what is going on. And when I say know what's going on, they know what's going on at a subconscious level, where it is actually like a part of their culture to do the daily things and live in such a way that will actually induce immortality. If you take care of yourself, if you take care of this avatar, and you also nurture your spiritual side and your higher self, you literally can transcend this physical reality that you are in now, that you see as planet Earth, not realizing that you are already either in heaven or in hell. And in this physical incarnation, believe me when I tell you that you will go through different transitions between both heaven and hell. You will deal with angels and demons. And when I refer to demons in this sense, I mean the harsher side of things, the darker side of things, the more primal, animalistic side of things that really they don't take rational thought into consideration, but more of a primal urge and instinct into reacting to whatever is going on, like seek and destroy. That's hell. All of you that are hearing what I'm saying right now, I know that you know what I'm talking about. I know there have been times where you were living in heaven. For me, that time was from my first year until maybe 6 or 7 years old. I was in heaven. I lived in heaven with my parents, and everything was magical. The 80s were happening, like the Gremlins, Michael Jackson, The Cure, all that awesome shit was going on, and it was magical. And then I stepped into my 7th year, and I entered into a hell realm. And I stayed in that hell realm until I was probably about 14 or 15 years old. And then again, I found myself like in this in-between. I was now in this in-between world, between heaven and hell, trying to figure out who I am, what this world's about, what I'm gonna do with my life, how and what I need to do to survive, because I didn't have any parents, and like all I had was my grandparents, and they were pretty goddamn disconnected, as you could gather, like most grandparents would be that had already raised kids and don't want to raise another one, you know. Like, I was on my own, and that was tough, and it was hell. It was hell. Enter into the next 7th year. I'm 21 years old, and I'm dating my future wife, and I'm in yet another heavenly realm once again. Everything's clicking. Everything's working out. My career is falling into place. I have a woman that loves me, and we have a future plan, and it's going to be great, and we're going to have children, and all of this and that. And 7 years go by, and now I'm 28. Depression's starting to sink in. The world is starting to get dark. I'm in hell again. The addictions, all of the addictions, the opiates, the meth, the temptations that are at every turn that I look, I'm in hell all over again. That's when I began to find black magic. I had been through heaven and hell so many times, and my spirit and my soul just did not know where to go or what to do or what the fuck was even going on anymore. Black magic came in. Lucifer came in. Lilith came in. Lilith came in very strongly. And she began to show me the truth. She began to peel away the layers. Help me to see beyond the veil, to see that, like, yes, heaven and hell are certainly both not only states of mind, they are absolutely physical, real places, because anything that you can contemplate in your mind and visualize is absolutely real, because once you do that, it exists on the astral plane, and once it exists on the astral plane, it is going to manifest into this physical reality. Heaven and hell are a very real thing, and yes, they're not places that you go after. They are here now. They are here now. The lake of fire has nothing to do with hell or heaven. It's simply a purification mechanism that when you have finally surpassed all of this light and dark dichotomy, all of this bullshit, all of this religious dogma, and all of the just everything that you hear every day, once all of that has been reconciled within you, when all of your shame, your guilt, your addictions, and your attachments have been reconciled, then and then only are you ready to be purified. in the lake of fire by Abaddon, and then only can you move on from this. Earth, the people, the processes, the laws, the physics of it, everything will melt away, and you'll see that it was nothing but a dream, and you'll move on to the next planet, to the next existence. Yeah, this is what fasting for 48 hours does. I did eat some steak this morning, but only eating some meat and some leafy greens for the last 3 days. That'll definitely put you in touch with the higher realms and with the spirits at a much more deeper degree, at a much more intimate level. I highly suggest that whenever you can. And of course, like, don't take anything that I say as the gospel truth. In the same way that you can't really take anything that you read, see, or hear in the world, no matter how old it is, or how old they claim it to be, or how legitimate they claim it to be. Just remember one thing. It's all coming from a schmuck and a moron. It's just like you and just like me. You know what I mean? Yeah. We're all human. We're all flawed. We're all, like, fallible. Like, we are special. Don't get me wrong. But at this point, I will say and I will agree they were pretty goddamn toxic. I don't think that was always the case. If you go back to Adam, and I do believe that he existed, I don't believe in the Bible totally per se, but I do believe that a being much like him probably did exist. And that was a pretty badass motherfucker. And when I mean badass, I mean badass. Like, omnipotent, omnipresent. He had real omniscience. He was a highly evolved spiritual and psychic being that had absolute control and dominion, not only over the totality of this earth, but every beast and being that roamed along the plains of it, and in the oceans of it, and in the skies and the airs of it, and everything that grew out of the ground. All of that. He knew exactly what was going on. He knew exactly how to take care of it. He could be anywhere he needed to be at any point in time like that. And a place like that does exist. A place and a beingness like that is possible. I really, really firmly believe now that people that refuse to take care of their avatar, yeah, you're gonna fade away. Yeah, you're gonna pass away. Yeah, you're gonna die. You're mortal. You're mortal. If you don't care, if you don't give a fuck at all, you will absolutely become solidified mortal. And you will die. And you're not going to pass on to the next level. For those of you that do care for yourself, that do take care of yourself, and that do also extend that same care and love to other people, you're going to go on. You're going to survive. When everyone else here has perceived, they have perceived that your physical avatar has died, that's not the case. That's not the case at all. That more robust, more like beautiful, vigorous, and youthful version of you lives on. It lives on. jumping timelines like that. You think that you were left behind. People see you, your loved ones see you. They think that you're gone. You're not gone. You're still alive. Unfortunately, most of them are still in a state of purgatory or hell that they are trying themselves to work themselves out of, but they're still perceiving the reality as if death is a fact, and it's not. In the same way that our life is an illusion, death is also an illusion. It does not exist. You, my friend, my dear, dear person, I love you. You will live forever. Your spirit is immortal. Your spirit, at this point in time, is seated in your soul. Your soul is the connection to your physical avatar. Your soul, your spirit, that's yours and yours forever. You will always use that soul to connect your spirit to anything that's physical. And it doesn't mean that it's always a human incarnation. There's a million different varieties. There's a million different possibilities. This is just one. But this may be the most important one, so treat it good. I love you all. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I love you. JD Temple. Crazy motherfucker out. Love you. Bye.